recording yet?
Yeah, it's recording.
Oh, okay.
Welcome, Brother Stanislaw. My name is Markel.
Nice to meet you.
I have a few questions.
Sure.
So my first question is, what do you think the difference is between faith in God and the proof of God's existence?
Okay, what is there, that there's a difference?
Yeah.
I don't think there's a difference. Either you have faith or you don't, okay? And I know there is the temptation, and it's spoken of in the scriptures, about there's a temptation of putting God to the test to see if God exists, okay? We don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So it may be, and let me explain it in simple terms. Let's say I have a math final on Monday morning, and math is not my strong subject, and I decide, well, I'm not going to study. I'm going to go with my friends and just relax. So I ask God to help me to pass that test.
Yeah.
And my intention may be, well, if there's a God, I'll pass the test. And lo and behold, I flunked the test, so I might say, well, there is no God, right? That's really dumb. And faith is a gift that comes from God, and we have to practice that faith. And when we talk about God, sometimes people tell us about the Trinity and everything, or the true presence of the Blessed Sacrament, that it's all a mystery. But if we simply stay there, then we never really get to experience God, because, let's say, simply proving God, just look around, look at creation, or even to look at our own life, look at those times when, maybe something should have failed for me, but it didn't.
Yeah. I understand. You basically compared your argument to Kierkegaard's, because what he said was that if you have proof that God exists, then you don't really have faith. Like, you know he's there.
We know, yeah. But we know he's there.
Yeah. So yeah, having faith is like more pure than having proof from God. Do you believe that evidence is necessary for the belief in God?
Well, we really can't, how can I say it? Evidence. Well, say we want some evidence that God exists. Well, one thing that comes to my mind is that there was a Jewish historian, Josephus, very early on. And Josephus speaks of the crucifixion of Jesus. There's no reason why this man should have to mention that.
Yeah.
So it was, okay, so first of all, I know that Jesus existed. But there's something else that tells me that there's something else there. Okay? And if it's all about proof and proving God, then you're always like a dog chasing its tail. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Because it's really having I don't want to say a negative attitude, but it's, what's the word I want? Like being the word is wrong, like a cynic almost.
So in class we learned about Matthew's argument on the problem of evil. And his argument states that if God is all-knowing and all-powerful, then why is there evil in the world? So based on his argument, do you think evil exists? Well, why do you think evil exists?
Evil exists out of selfishness. Evil is also, it's an imbalance. Now, evil is there. Let's say trying to prove God, Well, just look at the world, like these terrorists, for example, okay? And I'm not slamming the whole Muslim society at all. I'm saying some of these people, these terrorists, that's evil, okay? Um, there is evil, and God allows it. Why does God allow it? It's because that He can bring good out of evil.
Mhm.
But evil is there also. We contribute to evil. So when we teach, let's say, children to hate other groups,
Yeah.
that's us. You know, we have a lot to do with this. Or when we start, we want to know how our future is going to be, so we go and find somebody that can read the tarot cards to us. That's allowing evil, you see.
Mhm.
And God isn't going to simply destroy evil, and He could, but then we would lose maybe our free will. And for example, evil is what got God crucified,
Mhm.
okay? But He allowed Himself to be. And there were people there said that, well, if you're truly God, you're truly the Son of God, come down off the cross and we'll believe in you.
Mhm.
But it really, it's not that simple.
I know what you mean. Good argument. So, Soren Kierkegaard states that a person can embrace the truth intellectually, but reject it when actually living their daily life. So, what does that quote mean to you?
About experiencing God just up in here. It's possible, and we see every once in a while. Well, we'll say maybe a priest who's a theologian.
Mhm.
There used to be one that used to be maybe the poor man's dead now, but he had been he was an Irish Dominican and a very smart individual. And in the end, unfortunately, his knowledge was all here, and he ended up, he lost the priesthood, he left the Dominican order because he came to the conclusion, because all up in here, that there was no God. And I can remember that being explained to me way back when. See, St. Benedict says that we have to listen with the mind and the heart. You can't have one without the other. If you do, it's dangerous. Because we just get into these head games. And so they used to say, probably still do, like let's say you know all of Scripture, so it's all here, right? Well, as I remember being told way back in high school by one of the sisters we had, Sister Peter Maria, she said even the devil can quote Scripture. Mm-hmm. And as I matured and studied, well, that's really true, see? And so we have to work at having the mind and the heart working together, because and then in that way you start to have concern about your neighbor, you know, about creation, how you use creation, things like that. Otherwise, it's all about me. And that's where it goes right back. That's where evil comes from. That's selfishness. Okay?
Oh. Okay. And Clifford brings up a story about a ship and a ship owner. The ship owner built a ship and set his wife and some men out into the sea. This ship owner had strong doubts and no evidence that his ship would make it, but he had faith that the ship would make it across the sea. The ship sunk in a terrible storm and there were no survivors. Do you think that the ship owner was guilty? And if the ship were to survive it, is he still guilty?
Yeah, those are moral questions. And, for example, yeah, if you send somebody out on a ship that you know is not seaworthy, you have to take the responsibility for their death, okay? Now, maybe you can say, well, they were stupid, they got on that ship, right? But it still comes about taking personal responsibility. And that personal responsibility may even mean that you have to do some jail time to pay for your crime. Well, let's say they made it, but you're still guilty. That's sinful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was a good answer. Good answer. I like it. Okay, well, that is all the questions I have today. Any last comments?
Well, I will apologize to you. There's something in the air that's got my sinuses all messed up, and I can't even think straight.
I have allergies.
Do you? So
yeah, I really do. Like, I woke up this morning with a stuffy nose.
yes, and that's awful, especially during finals week.
I know.
And if you try to take something for it, it just makes you feel worse.
I just feel tired and I
Yeah.
can't focus.
Yeah, me too. And I apologize to you
Okay.
for that.
It's okay. You did good.
So
Well, thank you for your time today.
glad to help you.
It was nice meeting you, and I hope to see you around campus.
Well, nice meeting you too. Same. All right.
Thank you.
I hope it came out.